to the rundown on this historic day between the United States and Cuba, but not without controversy. After 54 years, the U.S. flag will soon be raised at the American Embassy in Havana, with Secretary of State John Kerry in attendance. Reporter Gene Ramirez with NBC affiliate WFLA is live outside the U.S. Embassy in Havana. Gene, good morning.
Good morning to you, Jose. How you doing?
Good. You've been talking with people who traveled from the United States to be in Cuba this morning. What are they telling you? Why have they decided to come?
Sure. There was this one family that I met down in Tampa, Florida, where I flew from, and they actually planned their trip 4 months ago. They just were curious about Cuba, as so many people back in the States are right now, and the timing of this just happened to be perfect. Well, they were really excited because they were bringing their young teenage son on this trip. Now, he's about to start the school year, but the mom said what a learning experience for him to witness history in Havana while they're vacationing here as a family. So they're very excited. But I've also talked to people here in the crowds that are from Cuba who are excited, who are optimistic, but also have the reservations, Jose.
And Gene, you speak Spanish. You can travel and talk to people. What do you think the expectations are for the Cuban people? Is this step, which is no doubt historic, how do they see this step? What do they want to see?
Sure. Well, ultimately, they want to see, people that I've spoken to at least, the embargo coming to an end. They want more economic opportunities for themselves, for their children. But some of them are still a little cautious. They have a little bit of reservation when it comes to that, especially the young millennials that I spoke to just walking from where Lester was earlier. I saw you talking to him, to my live location here right now next to the U.S. Embassy. Some of these young people think that they could still have better opportunities if they were just to leave Cuba and head to the U.S. Something as simple as carrying an American flag they're doing today without fear. But I just interviewed a gentleman who told me that, he was okay being here with the American flag right now. Tomorrow, not so much. And as I was walking away from that interview, he gave me his carnet or his government ID number. He says, please check back on me to make sure I'm okay in a couple of days. I thought that was incredible.
And what do you mean? What was he fearing?
Well, carrying an American flag here in Cuba not long ago was a punishable offense. You could go to jail. They didn't give me an exact amount of time, but he says that one day they take you to jail for carrying an American flag. The next day it could be a longer prison term. Now the American flags, you see a lot of them. I actually had a cab driver who was waving one just from his rearview mirror. He also had an American-themed air freshener hanging from there as well, and I asked him about it, and he told me the same thing, that long ago you can go to jail for having an American flag. You can't buy them here in Cuba, so the people who have American flags here, they're getting them through friends in the United States. I heard one gentleman got it from a friend in Colombia, and they feel pretty protected here today because we're here. The world's media is here, but there is some concern that moving forward, they're not going to have a lot of these freedoms that they're enjoying while the U.S. and the world's eyes are on Havana.
Gene Ramirez in Havana, Cuba, thank you very much for your time. Francis Rivera picks up things after the break from New York. I'll be anchoring Telemundo's coverage of the U.S. flag-raising ceremony in the embassy in Havana. En Español, I'll rejoin the broadcast after the ceremony concludes. But up next, Francis will have some other stories we are following today, including the devastation in China following those twin explosions. But a glimmer of hope. We'll explain next on The Rundown.